New information tonight about what went wrong with a former Kentucky CASA program that advocated for abused and neglected children in court.
It was 2 months ago that the I-Team broke the story about an audit of that program, uncovering violations of Kentucky's state statutes and CASA standards.
That's right. Chief I-Team reporter here, Craig Cheatham, spoke with one of their volunteers.
It's a great program, and it does do what it's supposed to do.
As a volunteer with a now dissolved CASA program for Owen, Grant, and Carroll counties, Rihanna Gayhart advocated for the rights of children in foster care.
Parents have their lawyers, the state has their representative. My sole responsibility was speaking for the kids.
It was a job that required extensive training and background checks, mandated by Kentucky state statutes and CASA standards.
The job that we were doing was really important.
But last December 20th, when the Kentucky CASA network audited the local program, auditors found no evidence volunteers had completed the mandated training or had critical background checks until after they started working on children's cases. At 1:35 p.m. on the day of that audit, local CASA director Julie Jernigan sent this urgent email to 7 CASA volunteers.
She says, "Ladies, I need you all to fill out this form immediately and get it back to me as soon as possible."
That form was for a state-mandated child abuse and neglect background check that was supposed to be done before volunteers began working with children.
I'd never seen it before that day.
Gayhart says when she received it, she'd already been working with children for 8 months.
It made me nervous.
Jernigan has not responded to our recent request for comment. Previously, she claimed she couldn't comment because she had signed a non-disclosure agreement with the local CASA board. Former local CASA board chair Jamie Baker also declined our request for an interview. On December 22nd, 2 days after the audit, Kentucky CASA Network told the local program it had to immediately stop providing services and volunteers weren't allowed to contact children in their cases.
It was devastating. I was in the middle of my cases.
The state CASA Network and local CASA program declined to provide details about the local program's failures, citing laws protecting their records. The I-Team cited the letter revealing the audit's findings in a previous story. We obtained that letter from a source. Then we confirmed its authenticity. Later, the I-Team obtained the emails of a CASA board member through a request filed under the Kentucky Open Records Act because she used her government email account. Her emails show in October 2021, the local CASA program volunteers advocated for 22 children. 14 of those children were 7 or younger.
The foster families involved in the case didn't know what was going on. There was just no communication whatsoever.
The kids could have felt abandoned.
Absolutely.
So the fact that these kids were not able to say goodbye, I can only imagine, added another piece of trauma to their lives. It's going to become part of their story that they're going to have to overcome.
Stephanie Dietz, a Northern Kentucky family law attorney for more than 30 years, reviewed the CASA audit findings. One of her biggest concerns was the local CASA program's failure to do state-mandated child abuse and neglect background checks before volunteers worked with children and had access to their confidential records.
It's very alarming. In what I do, which is a lot of adoption work, in a private adoption, it's one of the first things we have to do.
Dietz says the failure to properly train volunteers could have a significant impact on how they advocated for children.
If they're not trained appropriately, that causes me concern that they don't know what to do with the information that they have. And how do they know how to make recommendations? Are they working with the social worker? Are they finding something the social worker hasn't found? So it questions the entire investigation that the CASA worker is doing.
A different CASA program based in Covington will oversee cases in Owen, Grant, and Carroll counties. According to that program's director, right now there's 1 CASA volunteer advocating for 1 child in those 3 counties.
I think CASA in general is a phenomenal program.
But Gayhart says she's not ready to return to a program that she believes let down the children who needed it most.
I think our specific branch of CASA didn't do anywhere close to what it was supposed to do.
Former local CASA Executive Director Julie Jernigan, an attorney, is now a guardian ad litem. That means she's representing children in court as their attorney. State records show she filed to run for family court judge. On her campaign website, Jernigan describes her work and volunteer experience, but she doesn't mention CASA.